December 15th, today starts with a little bit of cleanup to kind of test and get everything kind of working, I guess. I need some space to work, so I'm going to start clearing off this table to be able to kind of bring in some gear, test it, make sure it works and works the way I know it works, figure out how it works, and then I can start putting it into these fancy-dancy empty holes. Starting from left to right. This whole rack here, top and bottom, are going to be dedicated to just incoming signals. And so I figure that's, if anywhere, that's a good place to start. We think that these units here are distribution units, but they might be distribution for SDI, and at this point in the game it isn't SDI, so we might have to go down a little further more to some of the equipment we pulled out yesterday, which was regular definition distribution and switching. So we might have to pull that and bring that back down. Right now we don't know, but it's a good place to start. Also, if I can figure out how to get it done today, probably should relocate the cable tray so that it actually goes all the way to the wall, because right now there's a 2-foot gap, and this is going to be the feed that comes off the wall, or the path that comes off the wall to get to master control. So, which, looking at it, maybe we should shift master control just down a foot or so. And I'm going to look at that a little bit, think about that a little bit more. But so anyways, the step one, clean up a little bit, pick up and clean off a workspace and get to work. Because if you work in shit, you produce shit. Okay, so now I've got a clean work area to start with. Boom. So as I test stuff, it goes on the table. If I don't need it, it comes off the table. That's how I keep things clear in my brain. The D to A that was sitting there is now hiding down in here, where probably that'll be its final resting spot, because that's the last process in this whole rack before it goes back out to the world. So it might end up in rack, what do we got here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It might be in rack 8 or rack 9, but right here is the last step. So the next thing is to, at least in my mind, is to pull up one of these Litchi switcher 16X1P, and start looking into what does this actually do, what does it work with. I have a collection of boxes, some of them with lots of inputs, some of them with very few. So what do these boxes do? Are they even the boxes I think they are? I have absolutely no idea at this point. So anyways, that's where I'm going to start, is research. I'm going to set up my laptop and start just looking for manuals, looking for product descriptions, and see, I mean, obviously it's a switcher. Is it an SDI switcher? Does it need a computer to go with it? I have no idea, but we'll find out. In our stack here, we've got the Litchi stack. We got what looks to be 4 Litchi 16X1Ps, and I think that they are pretty much identical. Let's see if there's a different part number on here. No, they seem to be identical. So that I'm making a wild guess and thinking that these are the digital interface. So you're just selecting the channel you want. Not really sure what that means yet. But anyways, so below that I've got kind of a mystery box of stuff I don't know. It doesn't have its fancy cover plate on it, so I don't really know what it does. However, it does have little ID tags on each board. But so, and the boards do look a little different one to the next, so that might do something. If we come around the back, we've got a bunch of BNC ins, and then a bunch of, don't know, just looks like 3-pin connections. So I don't really know. And then kind of a weird power plug-in. It kind of has latching features and stuff. It's kind of interesting. And so right below that one, we've got this Litchi again, X Plus modular routing switchers. So that makes me think maybe that might be a brain. I don't really know. But we come back and you can see a tremendous amount of breakout cables that look like they terminate into a TB25. Okay, and then some kind of serial line, and these might be 10 base 2, 10 base 10, 10 base 10. That didn't make sense. 10 base 2 or some other kind of network connection here on the end. I don't know. We'll have to keep looking at that. And then just under him, we've got the Litchi FR6802 serial distribution amplifier. Well, that kind of clears up what he does. So he's probably just another amplifier to send signals. And we might be able to use him to maybe send signals around. But yeah, it looks like you come in here and then you've got just outputs galore, galore, galore. So that's cool. It's interesting. Looks like there's a power bus, maybe. It's interesting. I don't know why you would want to do that. Seems, you know, you've got an AC in, but why would you want a DC? Maybe this is designed to go in a car as well. And then finally on the bottom, we've got another Litchi, and it just says 16X1P here, which it says there too. And it looks like another switching system, but it's way more intense in the sense that it has 16 inputs and an A and a B out, which I don't know. And then looks like it also has these here and here, and then outputs. It almost makes me think it does what the two on the top do, and then maybe this board here does, or the you know. So I don't know. And then it also has somewhat of a looking network and serial. So it might be that box does everything. I don't know. All right, time to break out the laptop and start looking at manuals. We need these. Lots of them. Or not lots, I think we need 3 of them. These, this is the network base that works behind the SDI interface for the master control board to its associated box. Looks like it's a DB15 converter to maybe 10 base 2? Yeah, 10 base 2 MAU network converter. Maybe I can do some research on that. Do we even need a converter? Can we just make something? I don't know I don't know. That seems too simple. But in all reality, if it is that simple, we'll just make cables, because it's nifty to have a nice coax cable and whatnot, but I can make DB15 cables until I'm, you know, blue in the mouth. Shit.
What?
I don't want this trapped underneath there.
You want me to lift it up? You move
No,
it
no,
up?
no, no, no. It's just my laptop. Easily be on.
Hell, we got a lot of that.
Yeah. Gotta figure out what it is, though.
The leech boxes?
Yep.
What do you want to know?
I want to know how to hook them up. How they are supposed to be connected.
Okay.
Where it connects into what? What controls what? How is that configured?
I can
How do
help
I
with
communicate
some
with
of
that?
that.
Slow and steady, man. Slow and steady. Until it gets done. Slowly we
We're
go.
missing some parts. Maybe not. I don't think we will need those.
I don't know. Like I said, I know nothing. I am not a broadcast engineer.
These are just masters.
I figured that those were controllers.
Yep.
And I'm starting to think that this guy is the brain of those controllers. Just because he seems to have more going for him. This here might be expansion for that, and this might be some kind of a breakout for that. So,
This is definitely a brain
right.
from one of those, but I think these can control all of these as well.
Maybe, like I said, if I can. Here's the problem.
What you got?
The problem I'm having is this box here
Yeah.
and these box here all have the same front name. Is there like a maker plate on the back somewhere that says another number? They all say 16X1P. Okay.
Okay.
That's unhelpful.
It isn't though. What that tells you is this is a 16 input by 1 output patch bay. That's what that means. 16 in
Sure.
by 1 out patch bay.
Okay.
And then if you count, there's 16 buttons.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing that. What I'm saying is that's great. How does this fit into the system? See, there's.
You have 16 feeds coming in,
Mhm.
and these are your 16 sources. And this works exactly the same as a big master control thing. You say, I want cam 1. You press this, and out of all the 16 cameras feed into here, you want cam 1. Cam 1 goes out to the thing.
But look at the back.
When you press this, these two control lines connect down to
Right.
the back of one of these, where you have all those 16 cameras coming in. Now take a look down here on the back, and I'll show you the basic routing.
See why I wanted the table moved away now?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. These are. You've got. I want to make simple sense.
Well, see,
This is the easiest
this, I think this doesn't count. This is a distribution amplifier.
Yeah, it is.
So,
All right. Now look just at this one.
Right.
You've got 16 inputs.
Mm-hmm.
A and B. Those
Right.
are your outputs. And then down here, X and Y.
Some kind
These are your
of
control lines. These are the X and Y. They go up to here to this X and Y.
Right. I'm making an intuitive leap that that's some kind of a network or something
I
like
think
that.
it's a really simple serial control type thing.
It
It is
might
some
be.
kind of a network because I think you can. There's a termination thing on here, and I think you can loop more down.
Yeah, that's why I'm.
And here's your audio router,
Okay.
and then this is your audio output.
But see, the thing that got me thinking is this and this and this. It's almost. This is what I got going on in my brain right now. It's almost like these two pieces of equipment is this one piece of equipment.
I don't think so. I think this, you've got one input.
Again, ignore this. This is a distribution amplifier.
Yeah.
This
well,
has nothing to do with.
okay, well, you were talking about these things.
These two. My hands are touching.
This is also a distribution amplifier. You have your.
Yep. Yeah, right.
This one here.
I'm sorry, I had it backwards. This is the distribution amplifier. Ignore
This is also a DA.
This says digital glue, whatever that means.
It's a DA. And this is a DA that also has serial, and this will do DA conversion because you've got a serial input up here, an SDI, and you can have 4 SDI outs, and then 4 analog outs. You can see it says PAL and TSC, so these are analog outs, which is kind of handy. I think this will do DA conversion, whereas this is just a distribution amplifier, and I don't know if that's analog or serial, but I would guess that's analog.
Is that a panel? No, that's just one big.
This will be cards inside. These are terminators. We're going to need to be able to split some audio here, but this could be really cool to be able to do, because this takes the mixing console out of the loop, and this.
Well,
that's where this.
it begs the question: do we even need the mixing console then?
Yeah, we're going to need the mixing console.
Well, if this does the same thing as the console has
It doesn't
nice
do the
buttons
same
on
thing
it.
as the console. What this does is does audio and video switching. The console lets you have levels control. Or do you mean big master control console?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Because as nifty as that is, it doesn't fit in our table. And if this does the same thing, I would rather have the table clear for
This doesn't do
working on
crossfades.
things.
This doesn't do general. This gets you down to a working set.
Fancy Medancy, I don't care.
You care about Genlock and crossfades.
But I don't. The only thing that ever happened when they added Genlock to the whole thing was it didn't have a millisecond of.
It matters.
For a TV station, I might agree with you, but for an internet distribution, that will never even be seen because it's going to roll through. I'm not even worried about it. As far as his life goes, Genlock, as far as I'm concerned, is so far away from where I'm thinking right now. Not even there. I just want to understand what this
one
is.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
This here I don't understand, but I think this is audio.
it might be.
This is either audio or control. It looks like
Yeah.
audio because it's 3 pins, which would be a balanced audio.
Well, I don't know because the faceplate for that one's missing, so I don't have a
Hey,
clue
motherfucker!
what this is.
These breakout wards
Yeah.
with the DB25 plug.
Right. That's why I was thinking, man, this piece of equipment right here looks like these two pieces. Or
This is an audio router. This is purely audio. What's the buttons on this one?
darn
Where are the buttons on
it. It says modular routing switchers.
This
That's all it says.
This connects, you can see the AB or XY over here, comes in on this, and I think this just, because this is a pair of 16 by 16 mono audio routers, which gives you 16 by 16 stereo audio router.
Not even says it right there.
Yeah,
Audio routing.
yeah, and down here I've got a 16 by 1 audio serial.
Again, now I come back to, I think these two, this guy here and this guy here, look a lot like what this guy does. So it's almost like...
No, this is DA. These are both DAs. These are both the same fucking thing. Really, really the same thing.
Okay.
And this is half of one and something else as well. This may be an audio DA on this side.
Okay.
That's video DA. So these three are DAs. There's no question about that. We've got that. This and this are the same thing. And I'll bet you can take these two cards here out, put these two cards in, and get the same file. And then you can route audio with video.
Well, so I'm going to...
Why are you wet?
She was just outside.
So nobody likes it. Nobody likes a wet dog. So okay, I'm gonna go.
I don't know what these ports are here, but that's got to be
I've
something.
seen the whole patch bit of those, and it's almost like a Ma Bell Quick Connect.
This?
Yeah. There's a whole.
It's a little 5-pin weirdness thing.
Oh, maybe not. Then I take it back. That's not what I thought it was.
Oh, you're thinking
There's like.
TS plugs.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's audio only, different world of video.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab something to eat. My stomach just told me this is gonna be a hair pulling manual search. So.
Okay.
No, my brain told me that. Suddenly I'm hearing noises. Oh, that's you. Shooting blog with me shooting blog. Why must you do this?
Because I'm trying out the different video format, and I want to see how it works.
What do you mean different video format?
I'm going for MP4 instead of AVC HD.
Should give you a longer runtime.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay, so we went through. What camera to look at? There's 3 of them. Went through all the devices, and Leachy is we're saying how to
Leach.
Leach. That's a terrible name. I mean, I'm sure that's some guy's name,
I had a roommate named Stephen Leach.
but it just
And it
implies
was spelled
so much.
way worse than that. It was spelled the same as, like, you know, the creature.
Okay.
It was quite fitting, too.
Okay. So, anyways, these are just remote controls. The 16x1Ps. So these, along with this base unit here, are all going back into storage. We don't really need them right now.
You're talking there.
I'm talking
I'm just
here?
getting test
You're
footage.
talking there, but you're talking here.
That's the blog. That's your blog. It's the one that matters. I'm just getting test footage.
Shake my nose.
I might use this for the blog. Just
You might.
honestly.
So, anyways, so those units can go back into storage. They're SDI format switchers. We don't have that much SDI equipment currently coming in, but good to know that we have them. It might as well just go back down into storage. However, we also have these 4 units here, which are D to A's, or no, they're not D. I say D to A real quick and it sounds like DA.
They're DACs, which means digital analog converter, as opposed to DA, which is distribution amplifier, and those are actually both.
Right, so that's, I don't show this one because this one's had a hard life. Had a hard knock life there, Chris. But this isn't, let's see. This one ends up being, we believe, the audio switcher. Hopefully that's focused by now. There we go. FR68002. We have the manuals for all of these units and the subcomponents. We have to come up with a better storage location. We need to get ourselves. Maybe if Enos is out there, we need a NAS just for documents or something. For NAS space. This is a D to A and DA. FR680-1. So all of this stuff can go back down. This guy and possibly the one below it could be useful just for converting for monitors or something, but for right now I don't think we need them. But they can just kind of be on standby. And then the main switching unit, he's going to go back into storage too. So onto the Saturn. So all of that equipment's been moved downstairs now and been put back into storage if we need it. So I've got the Saturn box up here now, and in true geek fashion we've already voided the warranty. I also had a chance to talk with Enos about the previous work they did with the other Saturn. This is the SDI control box. With the other analog one, which is down yonder. And they told me it runs on either it's VX or VMware, which seems to be kind of like a ladder logic or something to that nature. To that end, when they were playing around trying to get this to work, they put together a laptop. Doo-doo. So I pulled him back out, and so I'll boot him up and I'll take a look at it. They said they weren't able to get the LAN to talk, that it was on another network, and they were just having difficulty with this box. I can see how that's true. I found the installation manual, which is nifty and fun and all, but it doesn't really tell me anything about how to program it or talk to it or anything like that. But with the help of Enos, he said that the logic chip, right there, theirs, are the chips that they looked at before, and possibly something to do with those, but to try and find the compilers or whatever it is that they found to do it. So I'll boot up that other laptop and we'll see if I can find what they did, try and reconstruct and work backwards from that. So it's been what feels like ages since I pulled the Saturn box up here, and I've learned very little about it. I've read a lot of the manual, but a lot of it is pertaining to hooking it up, not configuring it. And there seems to be some softwares or something like that that you need that I don't think we have. Okay, so on that end, I was looking at the ports, and I went, okay, there's a config port. Well, let's learn what we can about that. So after digging through the manuals again, I found that schematic. Woo. And so, based on that and what it says that connection is, that's the configuration cable schematic for that port. And just based on looking at it, if you look at the side end of it, there's an RTX and a TX and a shield, I guess, and rest is ground. So it's an RS-232 connection. Cool. I checked through, it's good. The only problem here, and what makes this annoying as fuck, is that's not a normal cable. That's a normal side. You've got CD, and then you've got RX and TX on there. But for whatever reason, these douche nozzles decided to flip and move them around and do a... That's the sign of we want to sell a cable. And that pisses me off. And APC and other... Oh, you need a special cable. You're not winning my vote for great equipment design. So, get the iron out, I'll find some cables, and I'll hack one together. It's just annoying that I have to hack one together when I have 10,000 serial cables in the building. So, I'll see if I can connect to it and get anything out of it. Alright, so I'm going to set up for the cable, make the cable. I've got my DB9 male and a nice little housing. So, I'm going to start with a normal cable that I've got kind of hanging out. We got a ton of these in the basement. These are just standard DB9 female to DB25 male. So we'll just start, lose the connector, don't need that. Well. So, because I always seem to forget here which goes to which, and not all the cables are made the same, so we're going to have to ring it out. So I've got my meter standing by. Come on. Alright. So, we've got a nice little rainbow of colors. So let's do some ringing. So yellow, blue, purple, orange, black, brown. Okay. Alrighty, because I don't have a probe to shove in there, I have a good old stand-in. Use a piece of solder. Okay, let's turn the meter on. Get one probe out. Just, come on. So now I've got myself a makeshift probe. Back-winded one. Okay. So we'll start, we got 9 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alrighty. Let's see if I can see pin 1. go ahead and shove that into pin 1. Let's make sure this works. Okay, got a good connection between the probe and the solder, so we'll just shove that in there real good. Just grab it on some groups here. Okay, it's down here somewhere. So number 1 is black. Alright, pin 2. Pin 2 is brown. Pin 3 is red. I'm going to double check that one. Yep. Orange is 4. Five is yellow. One left on. 6 is green. Alright, I had to unload the camera, so I had to take a small break. But in the meantime, I knocked out a quick AutoCAD drawing for the cable I'm about to build. So I now know I gotta attach one, yellow to 1, red to 2, brown to 8. Cool. So we're gonna come back over. We've got all our wonderful colors, but we don't really need all of them. Being we only need 3 of the cable, 3 of the wires. What I'm gonna do is just kind of cut things down a bit, just to keep things cleaner. So I need yellow, and I need brown, and I need red. The rest can go. Bring that over. Just prune it down. Don't really need our meter anymore. I'm just gonna pack her down real quick. Oh. We need that there. Okay. We really probably should hook up our drain, but right now, today, I don't think I need it, so I'm gonna remove that. So now I got 3 wires left. Underrated, but always needed. Little cable pieces, so little hoods. Love them. Wish we had a ton more of them, because making a cable and then leaving it like this leads to that getting broke. And so once it breaks, somebody has to fix it. It's just kind of annoying. And these things aren't tremendously expensive, so good to always have a couple on hand. I tend to always do. So I'll just dump all that hardware out. Fine, that's good. Don't really need it right now. I just like to get everything kind of organized and ready. Let the OCD out. Okay. So these wires are too long because they don't really need to be that long. So we're just gonna knock them down, maybe about half that length. Okay. And restrip them. I get a lot of flack for these, but I love these. These are the crappiest little wire strippers on planet Earth, but the reality is you can strip way more with them. And yeah, they can be a pain in the butt to work with because, you know, you can find yourself chopping the wire off if you don't have the magic touch or whatever. But I like them. They make me happy. Had to check and make sure I'm still recording. Okay. So that's ready. Now we'll come over in our DB with our DB9, and it has it's a little solder cup on the back. So in getting ready, take and lay him out. Get our solder ready. Again, we're going to be using pin 1, pin 2, and pin 8. So on this one, if I can catch the light, pin 1 is far right, camera right. So pin 1, pin 2, and pin 8. So I just start by let's see if I can get a better working position. Start by just kind of pre-tinning the cup. Pin 1, far left. So I normally just kind of drop it in. Ooh, it's going to keep moving. So let's add some mass. Whoop. Pin 1. Pin 2. Give that a clean. And the last pin was pin 8. So rotate one from the end, pin 8. Oops. Okay. There we go. So now got a pretty decent. Ooh. Come on, mount. Play nice. So now I got a pretty decently prepped piece, and it makes me kind of happy. It's ready to go. So now comes the next tricky, wonderful part where we try and get the wires in without screwing it up. So the next trick becomes we help the wires be kinder to us. So we'll just kind of break out the wire a little bit. And for me, I create this little kind of like propped up solder piece. Get my iron cleaner so she's nice. And then I'll come in and what I'm going to really do is melt the solder and kind of trick it into grabbing onto the wire. Just like that. So you end up with just a very tiny bit of solder on the end. And we'll do it again. What we're trying to do here is create a surface that when we go to actually finish the piece, the solders actually kind of help each other to like transmit the heat. So now our ends are a little too long, so we'll just kind of come in, give them a little trim. Okay. Back to our little DB9. What we're going to do, okay, so pin 1 is yellow. So I'll pull all those back. Now if I've done everything right, everybody wants to go together. But what I want to do is kind of a little bit annoying, but what I want to do, there's pin 1, is come in from the side with the iron. Let's add a little bit of mass behind it so I got something to somewhat push on. And what I want to do is touch the solder, get it liquid, and then kind of cram down. Just like that. So now we end up with a connector. The wire is completely submerged, and we end up with the insulation actually almost into the solder. So you can't even see the connection. If I was really going to be nice and fancy, I'd have a piece of shrink tube and pull it down and shrink tube the whole thing, just to add strength to that connection. But tonight or today, I'm not really being that fancy. Now it gets a little more complicated because now it's all tied together. First one's always free. So we're gonna have a harder time here, but that's a matter of tricking it into helping you. There it is. And again, nice and strong. We can put my iron down. You can see it's nicely secured. There's a little more wire out on that one, but I can live with that. Let's come back. Once again, whoop. Okay, more wires equals more complexity. I'm going to kind of give them a twist. Bend my wire into position. Careful not to hit the camera with the iron. Alright. Oh, come on. A little more messy on the third, but not too bad. There you go. Now I got... There it is. Now I've got my specially made wire. But before I put all the closure on it, and kind of close it up, we get our good for about nothing meter back out. I think I lost my... Oh, there it is. Get my meter back out. Cramp my solder on. In a jiffy, it makes a wonderful probe. Get this back out. Let's boot the laptop. Make sure we built to what we thought we were gonna need. Okay, so on this side, pin 2, right there. And we said that would be pin 2 should be pin 8. The connector, it's kind of hard to read sometimes. 8. Oh, gotta turn it on. Uh-oh. Oh, it fell out. 1, 2. Pin 8. Hey, success. So, pin 3 to pin 2 on this one. So, pin 2. Glorious. And then on this side, pin 5 to pin 1. Wonderful. And so, electrically, we're hooked up right. Good. So, electrically, we're hooked up. Everything's good and happy. Whoa. With it electrically hooked up, correctly, let's go through the annoying task of finishing it here. So what I like to do is I give these a little bit of a twist to kind of reinforce them a bit. We'll start with our cable piece, so we'll kind of keep twisting him until it's nicely secure. Doot, doot, doot. Now, it comes with these guys, and this is what's supposed to reinforce it, I guess. So I never really had massive success with these, but this is supposed to pinch the cable. Okay. I never really used these. Okay. And then I'm guessing there's a screw. A couple of screws, okay. Whoop. Little screw goes through. Oh, I'm gonna need a screwdriver. I did not plan ahead. Go get one real quick. I bet we can actually start this open. So there isn't. Yeah, let's do that. Just get that kind of going. Alright, we'll slip around. Okay. And then get this second one in. Now we don't want to fully tighten it yet because we don't know exactly where it's going to go, but because got a little bit of probably cramming to do in this thing, a little bit. Put down the cable, so it gets stuck in this little pocket right there. So we can now bring the hammer down on him. Okay. So now that's assembled. Good, good, good. Okay. Then we've got our screws that have a little bit of a you know, empty space. So those get the little bracket. Okay. Now we get into the fun part where we try and assemble everything. It's like these are designed by people who have like 5 hands. I've never understood how they foresee you easily putting these things together, and I think the answer is they just don't care. This is the best they got. There you go. But here you go. Okay. I bet they do care. They just sometimes you just backed into a corner in designs and you just do the best you can. Ugh. And if my hands were functioning better today, I'm never going to be a watchmaker, I tell you what. Okay, so put on our cover, make sure our little clippy things stay back. This one. Oh, got a screw fell. See what I mean? Like, you need a third hand to do this properly. Seems like most of the time. Okay, oh, get back in there. The whole point of this is so you don't fall out. Now you're falling out. Okay, we'll take it back off and reseat everything and we'll try again. Okay, make sure my guy is in his spot. That's all good. Okay. Get him out of the way. Come over to the other side. Make sure he's clear. Alright, and good closed. Drop a nut in there. Put a screw through. Get the proper Phillips head screwdriver. Okay. And I was doing back to back, I don't know. So you got it not here and then a screw. I don't know. There's probably no real reason to do that, but finickiness. There we go. I now have my custom-made serial cable. For the Saturn DVP 3500A. A cable that I shouldn't have to make and should not exist because manufacturers just use normal cables. Okay. So I broke out the serial converter that I carry with me everywhere, and my fancy-dancy brand new cable, and I plugged it into the config port, and I booted up the box, and I got nothing. I sent carriage returns and jazz. So nothing happened. I don't really know why. I don't know if I'm supposed to be seeing something anymore. I would have hoped there would have been some kind of prompt that would have showed up, but I mean, the only thing last-ditch effort is this MPK port right here, which is an RS-422 port, and that's what that other cable now on the floor here is supposed to be for. But and I have a converter, but I don't have the other cable, so it's just another fiasco to try and go through that. And I'm tired of kind of screwing with this thing today, so I'm just gonna turn it off and set it aside and either come back to it another day, or maybe Todd's got some ideas that I haven't thought of yet. But the reality is, this doesn't work right now, and I don't know why. Kind of cool though, some EMI and RFI filtering, which should be closer to the edge. But oh, there's another one. It's a nifty box. I have no idea if it works though. I mean, one of the last-ditch effort tests could be to just try and go grab the other Saturn box, the Saturn control console, and see if they're on the same network or something. But if we can't configure it, what's the point? Maybe I need a manual. I don't even know if that'll tell me anything. I'm really starting to hate AV crap. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.